How does an independent agent compete with billion-dollar marketing budgets? The answer isn't in finding power words for your headline or taking a Facebook advertising course, although both of those things are awesome. But to truly compete with billion-dollar budgets, we have to think bigger. We have to start thinking about our marketing, not just in terms of individual independent agencies, but collaboratively as the independent channel. How can we, as the independent channel, improve our marketing efficiencies so we stop wasting money, amplify one of our key value propositions, expertise, and provide a world-class, yes, a world-class experience? Now, instead of me telling you how this magic is possible, I'm gonna turn it over to one of the best insurance marketers, independent insurance marketers that I've ever met.
All right, guys, so what are we doing today?
Woo, carrier meeting.
Geralda. Now, the footage that you're about to see is excerpts of a 30-minute presentation that Geralda gave to all of her carriers summarizing Zinc, her agency's annual performance. I'm not gonna show you every minute because I really wanna dig into some key parts with you, but you can listen to the entire unedited 30 minutes if you search for Be Atomic Airwaves on your favorite platform and click on episode 18 titled How a Seasoned Insurance Marketer Leads Carrier Meetings. Okay, let's go. How many times have you had the Atbat conversation? This applies to agents and carriers. Carriers saying all they need is more, and agents finding some sense of worth to their carriers through quoting volume.
So we were trying anything and everything, right? And although that was fun for me and interesting to see what was working or what wasn't, it's not an effective way to plan or to market anymore. And the reason for that is this stuff takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort to create the content, to build up a brand. So if you're just pumping in random carrier products that you guys want to hit on and want premium volume on, that's not really a sophisticated way to do it for me and from a marketing approach.
G-Money is completely uninterested in at-bats.
Yeah, and that shift in 2019, it looked visually bad in the beginning, but it actually ended up being a good thing. So if you guys look up there at this pipeline, now this is just for trucking, right? So if you look, the last time that I showed you guys this for trucking, it looked completely different, right? So we had less prospect, we had more marketing qualified, and we had less sales qualified last carrier meeting. So with this updated pipeline for 2019, our visitors were up, so that's good. That means our traffic on all of our pages was up. Our prospects went down because we became more targeted, right? Our marketing qualified went down, so that's because I became stricter with what behaviors identifies that this marketing prospect is ready to go to a salesperson and get a quote, right? So in previous months and years, I was saying they're ready now. I'm like, I grabbed you, I'm like, please, yes, take them. Well, our sales team was coming back and saying, hey, I'm fielding all these requests, but I'm coming out with less won opportunities. So we met with our sales team, we became a little bit stricter on what those behaviors are that would trigger that flow to sales opportunity. So less because we were more strategic and more won deals as a result. So this is one of those moments where if you're a carrier and you're looking at that, you're like, okay, what does that mean for me? That could mean for you less submissions, right? But more won opportunities. So my goal is not to get you guys as many submissions as possible because that makes no sense for our bandwidth or the way that we're using our resources. And it doesn't necessarily make any sense for you guys either. My goal is to figure out exactly who Acuity and Westfield wants and to find only that person online digitally.
Did you hear what she just said? She sent less submissions. less. But Zinc wrote more business.
Geralda, I love you.
What? So, hold on. This logic is wrong. It's actually better submissions equals more business. And here's why this matters. Here's why this is so important.
Us quoting, as you saw on that last slide, is not good. We are hemorrhaging cash to quote.
Right.
We need to quote less but write more. And I never used to be able to tell you that. I used to say it's important to us to have a high hit ratio. The reason we need a high hit ratio is because when I quote, I'm hemorrhaging money. And so we need to quote less and write more. So Geralda has to be much more focused if we're to turn a profit with marketing and with sales with the independent channel.
Right now, I'm speaking to all of the insurance marketers out there. Have you ever felt like you didn't really know what you were marketing? Or have you been told, just start with personal lines, and then you go home that night and you see this ridiculous ad for Mayhem, and you're like, oh,
Nope, I'm out.
it's not your fault. Great marketing is telling the story of how your business solves a real pain point, a real problem in someone else's life. And what makes an independent agency so difficult, so tough to market so often is that we're trying to solve 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 different problems. Either you have too many stories to tell, auto, home, life, health, rental, ATVs, boats, trucking, restaurants, contractors, subcontractors. Oh my gosh. Or you try to wrap everyone's story into one story, but your messaging becomes so watered down that nobody hears it. Insurance for everyone. Yeah. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Right now, I'm speaking to all of you agency owners and carriers out there. Stop doing this to your marketers. Interested prospects don't grow on trees. It takes intentionality and time. And it all starts with getting really focused, really intentional with that agent-carrier relationship. What product or products does your carrier have a commitment to excel at? And which one does your agency want to commit to? That magic fusion of expertise is going to provide a seed that a good marketer can grow.
And I know that this word, maybe it's been a little bit overused by us, but it's really important. I think we're not thinking about it the right way. So the reason why we absolutely have to design everything in a niche format, if you will, is because everything needs a brand, right? So I can't really infiltrate upon a marketplace with a product that I decide I want to work that day and hope for the best. Regardless of how awesome that piece of content is, how hard I worked, and how badly we want it, it needs a brand, it needs a presence, it needs SEO, it needs a ranking online, and it needs a personality. And that takes a lot of time, right? The good news is we have the brain and the tools to be able to make that happen, but it's gonna require marketing research, right? So I want to, before I do Ohio Mutual, right? They want us to invest in farms. They said, I want to partner with you, Geralda. I want to throw money at you for farms and let's kill this. Well, that is taking me a lot of market research because before I go back and say, yeah, let's do it, I want to make sure that that aligns with the marketplace and where we're at internally at Zinc, right? So market research is one. Brand development, I want to have the best website for Ohio farms or for truckers that there is, right? That fits our brand. That's, again, going to take time and money. And then data aggregation, which is what we were missing on before. For farms, for contractors, for truckers, we're not giving them enough time. If things aren't working, that's okay. Not all of these classes are a fit in 2020 for marketing digitally, and that's okay. But if we can show people why one of your products is not competitive in the digital marketplace, or how we can make it more competitive, that's a win for us, and then also a win for you guys. So we have to decide in this moment, do we understand that the best way to get you guys out there right now is be competitive digitally? And then do we all have the guts to really come together and collaborate in a much more specific and deliberate way on some of this stuff?
So now I've zeroed in on exactly who my target audience is, my target prospects, not just going after everyone. And I've developed that seed into a truly captivating story that's starting to really attract people. And they've just been told by our sales team that they have to wait days for a quote. Okay. We have got to make the quoting experience better. It is so frustrating to do all that work, to tee people up, to get them excited, to get them wanting something, only to make them slam the brakes and wait. Why can't we have expertise, relationships, and efficiency? For those of you agents and carriers out there, it's already happening.
So connectivity. It's not an if, it's a how, right? So Central Insurance and Acuity Insurance, thank you so much. Thank you so much for connecting me to the right people on your team. We're gonna have the first open API. Now it's gonna start with Pardot and with marketing, and it's eventually, hopefully, gonna lead us to complete connectivity with those two carriers. So what that looks like for trucking is, they've taken the time to speak with Rob and to speak with me and say, hey, how are you organizing your campaign? Great. Well, let's get that prospect to a quote faster, right? So when they click, I want a trucking quote, let's get them to a form, right? Where there's underwriting questions within that form that they're filling out that is automatically populated into our system and that can get a quote faster than ever, right? And then let's take that information that the prospect just filled in about that and let's flow it through to Zinc's database at Salesforce so that the salesperson has it in their fingertips. That connection takes days for us to make with most of my carriers, right? With Acuity and with Central, they're looking at how can we connect through workflows, right? So it started with them, hey Geralda, I'm gonna send you an automatic report every single Monday on the prospects that are bouncing, that are coming from your marketing and that are bouncing on our quote portal. So that was really interesting, and we thought, okay, well, how can we get a little bit more connectivity? So we got on the call with Salesforce, and we realized, hey, there's actually a really simple way to API connect our Pardot to the carrier. So I know that you guys are not the right people in the room to have that conversation, but I want to make sure that the right people in your companies really understand the opportunity that they have here.
Dudes, thank you for listening. I hope that you found this video at the least not boring and at the most thought-provoking. In either case, smack that subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hopefully I'll see you next Thursday.